But we'll get rocking and rolling here. So my name is Matt Wagner. I'm the Vice President of Sales with Fields Manufacturing. Going to talk today from a product standpoint more about our Sprout timeline, so all of our seeded promo. And so those of you that aren't familiar with it, I'm talking about different grow kits, seeded paper, and things like that. One of the things that you won't get out of this presentation are any slide decks. I'm sorry, or you're welcome. I don't know. Just not my style. So this is just a me to you conversation, although I can't see you. But your hair looks wonderful. So it's just going to be me, a product, and a conversation. And so hopefully you guys can get something out of that. I'm going to focus more on not so much just the product, but really how to use the product, how to sell the product, and how to talk about the product from more of a creative marketing standpoint. So I'll start with kind of some of the grow kits and then work my way into the seeded paper, because they all have different applications and they all have some different uses and different things that you can do with it. I will keep my eye on the chat, so if you guys do have questions, feel free to throw that in there, and I'll try to catch it to my best ability. So starting with this one, this is actually a brand new product for us. This is our geometric planter. So super nice product. It was developed by a very charming and creative young man, me. So it's made from half maple and half walnut. You get your engraved imprint on there, but the reason that we developed it with two different types of material was so that depending on your branding guidelines, you could have either a light background or a dark background. Now, the one thing to keep in mind with a grow kit, particularly like this, is that it's not so much about having that sustainability message with it, right? It's more about the functionality of the product, and the byproduct being that it gives back to the environment, right? But if your heart is focused on that already, you're really just looking for a promotional product, or still looking for a promotional product that does the job, tells the story, and shares a message that you're looking to accomplish. We just launched this at the beginning of the year. It's been super successful for us, obviously in the springtime. It's really designed and developed more for fourth quarter gifts. And we're already starting to see that trend as more and more people are putting together their fourth quarter presentations and decks and things of that nature. And even aside from that, it's already being used a lot for employee recognition and more for employee engagement, because it's not this product that's necessarily going to just not just going to promote sustainability, but this is a product that people are going to interact with on a daily basis. It's going to live on your desktop, right? This isn't something that it just has a one-time use, so on and so forth. So with it, you get the packaging, which is all made from recycled material. The whole product is USA made, by the way, which is a fantastic thing. So you get your full color recycled material as the packaging. Your wooden planter, again, made out of two different beautiful types of wood with an engraved imprint. The cup on the inside is also made from compostable material, and that is certified. We have the documents to share that with you if you wanted it. And then you also have your peat moss, and then the seeds that you get to select in there. Once you've transplanted it, or God forbid you killed the product, killed the plant, it can be reused as a pencil holder. And that has a lot to do with sustainability, right? Is what are the other uses for these products? What can it do beyond just that one initial thing? And a lot of the grow kits have that. So the item number on this one, for those of you that are curious, it's 410200. It's the geometric planter. Again, great for employee engagement, more of a recognition piece. Definitely start putting something like this into your fourth quarter decks. You're in about that mid-20s for a sell price, so definitely more at the gift level. But it's something that's a gift that gives back to the environment and does speak to those sustainability demands and so on. The other big piece that I love so much about sustainable products, and specifically with grow kits, is also following the marketing trend that so many of the big marketing gurus have been talking about for the last multiple years, right? And that is still a hot word today. It's experiential marketing, right? So many of these big brands are talking about experiential marketing. These marketing gurus is what they're talking about, because the best way for you to engage with your client and to tell your story and to be memorable as a brand is through an experience, right? Our industry is certainly familiar with that because we're so event driven, and events are all about experiences, right? Well, look at the last year, what happened. All of our events left, all of our events were gone. And so how do you still get your employees and your clients to engage with your brand through an experience? And the Sprout Time Grow Kits can do that, right? Because the product itself actually is the experience. So this one in particular is also one of my favorite experiential products that is a sustainable solution. It's our carton garden. So it's the 410900 is the part number on that. We have 3 different pre-developed kits, so to speak. So if you get 3 different seed types with each kit that you get to select. So you can either do a vegetable garden, an herb garden, or my personal favorite is the garnish garden. So it's got basil, mint, and cucumber, everything you need to garnish your cocktail. So kind of a fun happy hour gift as well. So again, the packaging, which has your full color graphic on there, also is made from recycled material, just like the previous one. Again, the whole thing is also USA made, so it checks a lot of boxes there as well from a supply chain standpoint. The egg carton itself is also USA made and made from recycled material. So when you go to assemble the kit and engage with it, you're going to tear off the lid and make that as kind of your tray underneath, right? And then inside you again have your peat moss pellets. You have your 3 different seed types, but then you also have these birch wooden seed stakes that are blank, so you can write on it to identify what's exactly growing in your garden. So this is a starter kit that people can get the seedlings growing and then transplant it to a more permanent location to begin growing or finish growing and harvesting their garden. So something like this, in that like mid $5 range, is a really cool experiential product, because it's something that, again, is not just a standalone product that just has a one-time use or one-time engagement. People are going to plant the seeds, right? They're going to water it. They're going to nurture this plant. They're going to let it grow. Eventually, they're going to transplant it. They're then going to harvest the fruits and vegetables and herbs and what have you, to then make a healthy meal or have another experience with the product. And one really cool way that I love to encourage people to integrate into a lot of the grow kits and Sprout Time products as a whole is adding this layer of social media strategy into it. And what I mean by that is, as your plant is growing, people are naturally proud of it, right? We see a lot of corporate end users using it for employee engagement, and as a kind of a morale booster, as a mood enhancer. Because it kind of brings out that natural competition within all of us, right? And so these employees will start to compete with one another, like who can actually keep this thing alive the longest. And with everybody working remote and continuing to work remote, or even if you are back in the office, there's still this friendly competition, right? But people naturally want to take photos of the success that they're having with the product itself. I can say even myself, I've had distributors that are like, hey, I've never really grown anything a whole lot, outside of in elementary school or something like that. Really want to give it a shot. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to get you some samples, right? And like 9 times out of 10, I end up getting a text message from every single distributor I've shared the sample with we have that type of a conversation, because they want to share with me the success that they're having in growing this plant and what they're doing with it and so on. And so now you have a hashtag integrated into the artwork of your product, right? Where now every recipient is, going to naturally want to take a photo of it, post that to social media. If it's not for employee engagement, if it is something that is more for, from a marketing standpoint, right? You can incorporate even like a raffle into your social media strategy, right? So, hey, take a plant of your gift, your growing gift, and you'll be entered into a raffle to win X in 60 days, so on and so forth. So different ways that you can take the product, make it into an experience, and then turn that into a social media strategy. The other, great solution that something like this or a lot of our other grow kits do from a sustainability standpoint is also adopted into wellness programs, right? You're having a veggie garden and all of our seeds are, our vegetable seeds are organic seeds and, non-GMO, so on and so forth. So at that point, you're teaching people not only how to grow something and give back to the environment, you're teaching them how to sustainably grow their own food, how to harvest your own food, and then eat and live a healthier lifestyle, right? So it just checks a lot of boxes, and it does a lot of really great things for the people and for our planet. So again, that item number is 410900. Really, really cool product that you can do a lot of things with. I'm going to try to jump ahead here because I could probably talk about this product category for far more than 15 minutes. I'm super passionate about it, but going on to the seed paper, because that kind of jumps into a different price category. And as events are starting to come back, I want to make sure we touch on this a little bit. So this is definitely one of our best-selling products within the Sprout Time product line. The item number is 696000. We produce this item in not just like standard catalog quantities, right? This is a product that we produce in very, very high volumes. And to back that up just a little bit in what that means even for the rest of the Sprout timeline, is that all of our largest volume orders for the last 4 years have all been from Sprout Time. We're obviously a lanyard company, right? But our largest orders are all coming from Sprout Time. A lot has to do with being sustainable solutions. A lot of it has to do with being USA made and having faster lead times for larger volumes, those types of things, because we're doing majority of the manufacturing from beginning to end on a lot of these items. But this one in particular is great for an event handout. And I always like comparing it to like a pen. I'm not going to knock a pen. They have a wonderful place in this world. But for the same price point, something like this, you're getting a much larger imprint area, full color graphics on it, right? The packaging itself is also biodegradable and will break down. It's not in a poly bag. But then you have the shape in there that is you can plant and it'll grow 13 different types of wildflowers. So something like this is more than just being a sustainable handout at a trade show. It's also an icebreaker. It's also a conversation starter. So it would have been 19. I had a distributor reach out and said, hey, I've got this customer. Here's their logo. They do a lot of trade show marketing. Can you help me out with some different ideas? They've historically used all of the usual suspects for trade show handouts, but want something new, unique, and different. What can you help me with? And a part of their logo, the icon of their logo was a windmill, but it was like a silhouette of one. So I'm like, we could easily take that and turn that into a custom shape. So we presented that along with a handful of other ideas, some custom coloring books and things like that, some really cool, affordable solutions. But that was one of them. They came back and said they absolutely loved it. They placed an order for 30,000 pieces. Again, this is something that is in catalog quantities less than $1. You're looking at about 68 cents is your sell price, right? So not a huge investment to get something that's full color, USA made, sustainable, and very, very new, unique, and different as far as what your end users' understandings might be. They came back, assuming that 30,000 pieces is going to last them their entire trade show season. They came back about 3 weeks later, approximately, and said, hey, we absolutely love this thing. It's been the best trade show handout we've ever used. We've almost burned through all of them. We need more, and we need them now. So what was going to last 9 months last about 3 to 4 weeks. So they placed a repeat order for 90,000 pieces, thinking, okay, that's going to get them through, and it did not. They ended up placing about 3 months later. They placed a third order for another 30,000 pieces, and so something like that. And part of their feedback was also that it was a conversation starter, right? And that it was driving booth traffic because people were walking the show floor going, hey, did you hear about this like paper you can, I got it from over at, booth 1, 2, 3, 4. So people were literally going to their booth to get this as a gift. And what a better way to start a conversation rather than going into your, boring pitch that your customer may or may not want to hear, right? The same trade show pitch that so many people try to reel their prospects in with. What better way to bring somebody into your booth and start a conversation than, hey, would you like to plant this paper and grow a garden? Like, it has nothing to do with your business. They're totally not expecting those words to come out of your mouth and that to be a part of the conversation, but it piques their interest because it's something that they likely haven't seen before. So again, a lot of things that we can do with Sprout Time, a lot of customization, a lot of really creative solutions, not only from a product standpoint, but also from just a creative marketing standpoint and how to tell a brand story. And the last thing I'll leave you with is that one of the biggest shifts that I've noticed in the last approximately 6 to 9 months with the Sprout Time stuff is that there's a much higher demand for it coming from the end user. In the past, there's been a lot of product awareness and brand awareness being developed from our company and from all of our distributor partners, right? But now the language that we're in reception that we're starting to get from the end users that, hey, I've got this coming up. We don't know what we want to do. We know we want to do some sort of seeded promo. What can you get me? I'm seeing so much more of that type of communication. So I encourage you to sell it and hope you can be successful with it. So thank you.